Hello and welcome. Again, a nighttime video that has our chorus of chorus of night critters in the background. So welcome. This is another. This is a children's book that was altered. Again, I've shown you in previous videos of the journals that different types of books, and this is another one. It's a hard covered book, and this one had a few more pages that I found, but it was a joy to work in. Preparing the pages was easy, and what I did on the front was I covered it with a brown paper bag, scrunched it all up, and then applied it to the book, and then I painted it black. What I would have loved to have done, which I didn't have at the time, but I've got it now. This is why don't we try it? So this is that Goldfinger thing, and what it will do, it will pick up some of the texture from the brown paper bag. Isn't that cool? Can you see that? But that's a really good technique, a cool technique in terms of covering a book. So this book was, I don't even know what book it was anyway, but it was a children's book. It was, I created it for a course called Soul Restoration, and I've shared with you the larger journal that I used for the writing aspect of the course, and there may have been another one that I think I've used, but anyway. And the course was by Brave Girls. So this was, we were given printouts and things like that to utilise in the book. And so what I did to prepare the pages was I sanded it down and I gessoed it, and then I painted on top and added collage, as you can see. So this was about us saying, okay, we're closed now and we're going to restore ourselves, and we're going to do a variety of different exercises to do that. And if you looked at your house, how would it look, and how would you want it to look? And I put musical on the windows, a collage, little mini house, funny looking trees, but they're just like, you know, this is about creativity and expressing more than the norm, not the norm, but allowing your creativity to kind of think out of the box. And I'll go through the pages for you, and it says, don't be afraid to own your unique truths, beautiful girl. They are critical ingredients to an extraordinary life. Now, you should sign up to the Brave Girls newsletter, because I think once a week they send you like a kind of a mini inspiration, and it's a real encouragement. So I put these things in here, and we would get prompts, and you could create in the way that you wanted to. Melody Ross also did a short videos on, say, adding texture to a page, or using things like string to paint or string to write and things like that, and just basically looked at different things that we needed to think about, and then we had more prompts that we could add to the book. So dear Amanda, this is a reminder Look for the miracles that are there. It's okay if you find yourself alone. It will be okay. You will be okay. You really are not alone. You are never alone. Do not believe the dark words. They are destructive lies. I am brave. And so it was a really nice awakening course. So here are these photographs, funnily enough, are ones I took when I worked in the NHS, National Health Service, and we had an official photographer come in to work, and then what I did was I printed these out, because I thought they'd be a good addition, because for this particular exercise there were women, and I didn't just want, somebody else's face. So I thought, there's no shame, no blame, my whole self, my broken self, my unkind self, the different types of you, all of me is necessary, my weak self, my strong self, my kind self. So there are different parts to our being, and all of those parts make up who we are. So that was that page. This page was all the negatives, and the things that she felt like she was pretending to know what she was doing. I'm sure we've all been there. She felt underqualified. She made fun of her own ideas. These are the negative things we can say about ourselves, let alone the things that other people would say about us. And it's really worthwhile kind of trying to understand those things that are coming up and the other things that people are doing, and recognizing. For me, it's about recognizing the patterns that people will say certain things, or they will say certain things to you and then turn around and say, oh, I was only joking. And it was just like, but that's not a joke to me. If it's not encouraging me or edifying me, how can it be a joke? Because it's only you that's laughing, and you're making fun of me at my expense. And so sometimes you have to challenge those things, challenge the negative things that somebody will say, and they'll say, oh, why are you being so touchy? And it's just like, I'm not, but I do not appreciate, so finding the strength to challenge, not only when you're saying things to yourself, but when other people are, and when it's not okay, say it, because people are not used to you speaking up about how you feel, and how you feel they are commenting or saying things about you. And sometimes you need to speak up so that you can put a stop to it. That's my 2 pence worth there. So we had to also do another page here. Happiness equals, so all these things equal whatever the case may be. So bliss, her painting all day, creating craft products, watching informative creative videos, playing with a child. At the time, the only child in my life was my friend's son. Chatting with a friend, being able to spend all day playing with materials, a warm bath, candles, a massage. And these were things that were to remind you, like for me, you can sometimes forget the things that bring you joy. And I think you kind of like have to make a list, because, simple things, and these are simple things like a warm bath that brings you joy. So why wouldn't you want to bring yourself joy? And it was finding all the things that brought joy, or brought unconditional love, or what equals peace, what equals happiness, what equals enthusiasm. I put equals enthusiasm, driving in my car on a warm day with the window down and music playing, gardening and getting rid of the weeds, achieving a goal, planning a trip, or adventure, going on holiday, spending time in the sun. These things all give me, make me enthusiastic, you know, like being out in the garden. And that's really easy to do. You know, you can just go out into the garden. Equal self-respect, spending time on myself on a regular basis, having a massage, not worrying, loving all of me, not worrying how people view me, listening to what God is saying to me and listening to my heart, loving all of me, respecting my body. What keeps me motivated, what equals satisfaction, eating a good meal, making the most of my time, planning, tidying up my space, having a clean house, cleaning my art materials, and going through my supplies, thinking about things I could be making. So that's where I get satisfaction. So when you have a list of these things, you've got a ready-made go-to that you can think, okay, I'm feeling this particular way. What's going to bring me joy? Okay, let me go out into the garden, or let me have a warm bath if it's, you know, really late, or whatever it is. So this was quite a useful toolkit to have. And then it goes on, equals truth, equals belonging, and we get to choose. And it says go where the peace is. So this is, again, I can't say enough, I'm really glad to be able to have had this time to go through the journals and share this with you. Equals feeling valuable, being organised, clearing my workspace, honouring myself and my work, making time for my art, making time to learn something new. So I could say, when I'm not feeling valued, now it could be that the people around me have not, you know, I was going to say not done something that appreciates you, but if there's nobody around to do that, these are the things that make me feel valuable. I'm not dependent on anybody else, you know. Making time for my art, making time for me, making time to listen to what I'm saying, have a tidy space. And I'm looking around now, and there's things that I need to clear up, and I'm still unpacking stuff. So to feel more valued, I need to address, that's one of the things I can identify right now. I'm just looking around my space. And if there's less things on surfaces, then there's more room to create. So let's move on. So we did quite a lot of these. Well, I made sure I did, and this is something I really need to go through. That we had to identify. We had to identify the positive things and identify the negative things. So if I was to remind myself what makes me feel angry, not saying how I feel and what I think, holding myself back from doing those things that make me happy. What else? Equals resentment, eating too much chocolate and refined foods, eating too many sweets, not resting when I need to, not walking and getting fresh air. Now that's something, for me, I've identified that when I go for a walk in the mornings, when I spend time thinking about the things that I'm grateful for, that really feeds my soul. And when I come back, I'm kind of pumped, as Tony Robbins would say, and ready to launch myself into the day. And it does make a difference for me. So I can look through these again and think about, you know, what equals anxiety. And a lot of them is when I'm neglecting myself, a lot of these negative emotions come up, because then you start, well, I'm neglecting myself, other people will be neglecting me, other people are not seeing the person who's confident, and I'm thinking, well, they should be, you know, this and that, and they're thinking, oh, why is she, you know, snapping and all that. So it's like a big cycle. But you've got to think about what you're doing to yourself and for yourself. I'm worth this time. I want peace. Again, this particular diary journal is, I can add things to it, add things to the page. The other thing you can do with a lot of journals, because obviously this was created at a particular time, but for me this is almost like reference material that I need to dip in. I need to remind myself, because it's not, okay, I've done it, now everything's fine. It's, I've got to remind myself. And this is like a daily practice that we have to give ourselves or be in. So the final page is all the things at the top, and like there was a path leading to all the positive things, all the positive words, and then all the negative things are on the side that you've got to avoid. And if you stay on the path, restoring, resting, goodness, care, kindness, well-being, bliss, peace, you won't feel stress, self-betrayal, comparing, hopelessness, that you're forgotten, that you're invisible. Can you see the arrow? So we've just got to focus on making sure that we nourish and nurture ourselves, and all of this is possible. But these are things that we will have in our life: growth, belonging, gratitude, forgiveness, that anything is possible, growing, I say growth, valuable, valued, beauty, love, seeing, this is where I belong, those kind of feelings. So I was closed for restoration, and I think, you know, like these businesses, they close one day a week or whatever. I think that's what I'll probably start doing as well. It's just like, that will be my day for like self-reflecting day, where I just put things back in order, because they've gone askew. They're not where they should be, and so I need to put things in place. And so it's that spending time on yourself, making sure you're exercising and everything else, eating right and resting. So I hope you found some things that were useful in this journal. I will put some links below, so do check the Brave Girl out. And there's Brave Girl University, and they've got some retreats and lots of yummy stuff that one day I will be going to. So speak it as it is. So thank you for watching, thank you for spending time with me and the journal, and if there are any comments, please leave them below. Please let me know how you're feeling. If there's anything you'd like me to show you or go into depth in any way, please leave a comment. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So take care for now.